Hi everyone, it's Amy, and these pads are from Lazy Creek Boutique. This will be my review on these. I've used these for a few months, and I'm just going to tell you what they're made of and a little bit about them and how I liked them. Lazy Creek Boutique is owned by Gail. She sells on Etsy and on a Facebook group, and I believe that's all. Those are the only two places I know of. So these are what I ordered. This is a 14-inch heavy pad, a 12-inch moderate, a 8-inch moderate, and a 7-inch liner. So we'll just start with this one. On all of her pads, she marks the absorbency with a little letter. All the pads are WindPro fleece backed, and her core is either bamboo or hemp, I believe. I can't remember specifically which one these are or how many layers in each, but I'm sure you could find that on Facebook or Etsy. So we'll start with this one first. This is the 14-inch heavy pad. This is a knit top, the Burnout Stars print, and I don't know if you can see that very well, but she put a little bit of stars around there in her stitching. Her stitching is very good. I personally could not find any flaws in the stitching. This pad has the double snap feature, which I do like on some pads, but I tend to like a little wider gusset of a pad, so I do find myself putting it on the first snap, but it does work great on the second snap too. And I probably won't be able to do this one-handed. There we go. So it's not a very narrow pad, but it works great for heavy days and overnight. I had no issues with this pad. This is actually one of my favorite pads. It's very floppy, and it's not the thickest pad, but it's not the thinnest either. But my personal preference, I do like this one. I had no issues with leaks on this. I can use this on my heaviest day, and I am a very heavy bleeder, and I had no leaks with this pad. Onto the 12-inch pad. Now, this pad I wanted to be my favorite pad because I love foxes, and I got this fox embroidered on the pad, and this is bamboo velour, so it's nice. And the first thing that happened is I got my pads in the mail, and I washed them, and I didn't notice it right when I washed it, but I went to use this one the first time, and something felt a little weird right here, so I took it off and I inspected it, and the core had somehow, either the stitching didn't catch or it peeled away or something, it had rolled up inside of there. So I sent Gail a message. It also happened on this one too, so I guess I could do these both at the same time. I sent Gail a message. She had me send the pads back to her, and she fixed it. And while she was fixing this one, she noticed that the snap was pulling through this bamboo velour, so there was like a hole here. And I'm not exactly sure how that happened because I never used this pad yet. And I mean, I probably only snapped it on, once or twice. So anyways, she said she had fixed that, so she sent the pads back. I got these back. The problem here was fixed, and I believe this one was along this edge. That was fixed. That was perfect. But this snap, I went to try it. I, did this, unsnapped it, and it pulled through the velour. And if you can see here a little bit, I tried to hand stitch it. I took the snap off and stitched up the hole, hand stitched around here. You can see that a little bit, and then put a new snap on. So far, so good. I have only used this pad one time since all these issues started. I'm not exactly sure how many months I've had these pads, maybe 4 or 5. And part of it, the delay, was myself because I was not sure if I wanted to send these back for her to fix this or if I could just do it myself. Well, then I finally just gave in and did it myself, and so far it's been working okay. Otherwise, on her stitching on this pad, same as the other ones. It's all appears to be even. This one, it was marked with an M, but when she had to fix it, she put a new backing on it, and she said she forgot to embroider the M, and I said, no big deal. I'll either remember what it is, or I really honestly don't look. I just tend to grab which length I want when I use a pad. So anyways, the one time I did use this pad, I had no issues with it, no leaks. It was comfortable. It's floppy like the other ones. I think all of hers are floppy. I think just the WindPro does this because it's a super thin fleece. It's a thin, on the thinner side of pads, but so far I like it. Onto this 8-inch. I said about the issue here. That was the only issue I had with this one. 8-inch is a bit short for what I like. The shortest pad that I like is a 10-inch, but I can use this for cut back up, or on my last day when I'm just spotting, and I have no issues with it. The stitching on this one, when it first came to me, it only had the one line of stitching holding the core on, and when she fixed it, she put another line on just to secure it. This one is a knit top, the little embroidered raindrops, and this one only has one snap on there. It is a moderate, but oh boy, I use this as a liner. And onto the liner, I'm not sure why I ordered this in a 7-inch. To be honest, I didn't have many 7-inch pads, so I wasn't sure if I would like it or not. I do like this pad. There's no issue with this liner, I just don't care for, like I said, anything shorter than 10 inches. This one has the double snap, and I'm not sure why, this one has the double snap and the 8-inch moderate doesn't. It's probably just something she does, I'm not sure, and I didn't ask because it didn't bother me. This one I mostly use, I used it one time for cut back up, and it was fine, but I mostly use this on days of my cycle when there's just a little bit of discharge, not necessarily when I'm bleeding, because it is a little short. And although I'm sure it would do the job of a liner, like on my last day, just personal preference, I'm not comfortable with a 7-inch liner, something being so short. This one is super thin. I think there's only one layer inside of here. This is a knit top, and super thin. Not the thinnest liner that I own, but not the thickest either. But that is my review on the Lazy Creek Boutique pads. In general, I love these pads. I would buy from her again if I didn't have almost 100 some pads, and don't necessarily need any more, but she has very good customer service. I love the quality of her pads, even though this one has the issue that did not change how I felt about these pads, and I definitely would buy from her again. The only negative I have of these pads was that issue, and since pads are handmade, there's going to be some issues here or there.